First, when it comes to Harvard, as I said, the president has been quite clear they must follow federal law. He also wants to see Harvard apologize, and Harvard should apologize for the egregious anti-Semitism that took place on their college campus against Jewish American students.
In a sharp escalation of tensions between the US federal government and one of America's most prestigious universities, the White House on Tuesday said US President Donald Trump wants Harvard University to issue a formal apology over what it calls a failure to address anti-Semitism on campus. The comments came a day after the Trump administration froze $2.2 billion in multi-year federal research grants to the university, which is a move the White House claims is part of a broader effort to combat anti-Semitism and enforce accountability at elite institutions. Speaking to reporters, White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt said that the administration's demands go beyond just words. In addition to an apology, Harvard is being asked to eliminate its diversity, equity, and inclusion, that is DEI programs, implement merit-based hiring practices, and ban the use of masks during campus protests.
First, when it comes to Harvard, as I said, the president has been quite clear they must follow federal law. He also wants to see Harvard apologize, and Harvard should apologize for the egregious anti-Semitism that took place on their college campus against Jewish American students. There were professors who said that he had engaged in discriminatory behavior against Jewish students. Of course, you had the former president of the university saying bullying and harassment depends on the context. You also had an encampment on Harvard Yard that we all saw play out before the cameras. The university failed to impose formal discipline on any students for this anti-Semitic conduct violations, including the occupation of a campus building and the disruption of classes with bullhorns.
Why do Ivy League schools get so much federal funding?
It's a very good question, and it's a question the president has obviously raised in his discussions and negotiations with not just Harvard, but also Columbia and many other Ivy League institutions. We have the Antisemitism Task Force, which the president promised and delivered on. The Antisemitism Task Force is across the government, representatives from various federal agencies who meet on a weekly basis to discuss the question that you just raised. And I think a lot of Americans are wondering why their tax dollars are going to these universities when they are not only indoctrinating our nation's students, but also allowing such egregious illegal behavior to occur.
The clash between the White House and Harvard University follows a broader push by Trump since returning to office to reshape American higher education. He has repeatedly suggested that elite institutions have lost their way, promoting political agendas instead of academic excellence. Threatening to withhold federal research funding has become a key tool in that strategy. Harvard, for its part, has pushed back. On Monday, the university became the first major institution to formally reject the Trump administration's directives. In a statement, Harvard accused the White House of attempting to control the academic community and stifle freedom of expression. The standoff places Harvard, which is the oldest university in the United States, at the center of a growing national debate over campus culture, anti-Semitism, and federal oversight of higher education. And with billions of dollars on the line, both the political and financial stakes are high.